Hey guys, so unfortunately, for some unknown reason, thanks technology, no audio recorded on this video. So I'm going to have to narrate our little journey around this house. I'm just pointing to the house. It's there on the left, kind of hidden in the trees. It was a lovely, really pretty house. Unfortunately, for some reason, well, not for some reason, it's pretty common around here, these older homes, they get knocked down. And it kind of upsets me. I think that these old homes that have been here for centuries at some point should be preserved. But hey, it's not my house, unfortunately. But it is always a privilege to get to go inside these homes and take a look around. And that's what we're going to get to do today. So we are just walking into the driveway. As you can see, it's like mid-fall right now with all the leaves all over the floor. It looks beautiful this time of year. The colors are just amazing. Hopefully you are having a lovely fall. And I just saw that blue thing there. I hadn't spotted that. I don't know how I didn't spot that big blue dresser, but I didn't. But it was a pretty one. There was a lot of really cool stuff in this house. The the family name, I guess the wife in this home had passed away quite a while ago, I think 11 years ago, and the husband in this home passed away 3 years ago in 2023. This is really funny. So there was a pair of random side story, but there was a pair of shoes in New York, this shop in New York that I used to shop at back in the 90s. I should see if I can find a picture of it. And it was featured in this book called Shoes. So I was looking here to see if it was actually in the calendar, but it wasn't. But I always wish I'd bought those shoes. I used to go in the shop all the time to look at these shoes, and I never bought them. They were just a really funky kind of quilted pair of Mary Janes, but I didn't get them. And then just looking at some books. There was not a huge amount there for us to look at. It was half price day because it was Sunday, so it was half price day. This was funny. This is an Hermes typewriter. So I actually should look that up right now and see if this really was an Hermes, or if it's just coincidentally named that. And they did make typewriters. Hermes did make typewriters starting in 1923, apparently. I forget how much that one was. I think it was like 250. But it was half price day, but I still wasn't in the market for a typewriter. This is a huge model boat. I actually just sold a model boat that I purchased at a sale a couple of weeks ago that you may have seen. And what are we looking at here? That's just a box of candles. I'm always looking for those clear lucite candles, but I've never found any yet. They're my white whale right now. Oh, I just spotted this amazing coyote. Look at that. It's like 3 foot tall. It's almost my mum's waist. That was, I believe, 150. And so I passed on that too. And so you see that little toolkit there? Got a story about that one in a minute. And this fantastic MCM map of the United States. I loved that, but again, it was a pretty high priced item and not in my budget. But it was amazing to look at. So this gentleman who had passed away, oh, we were just looking at a Hoosier cabinet. There's a really beautiful Hoosier cabinet there. The gentleman who passed away was a long-lived local in Westport. He was 93 when he passed and had lived in that house for a long time. So this is a basket. I think that's one of those giant bottle baskets, you know, those wine baskets. It's pretty. Metal filing cabinet there, not in our wheelhouse either. So it's quite the maze in this house. And this was actually the basement that we were kind of wandering around right now. I probably won't do much cutting of this video just because I'm having to narrate. So sorry if we're kind of stuck looking at weird stuff for a minute, but we are, I think there's a really awesome picture up. Yeah, I love this. I don't know why I love this creepy picture of this guy, but it was very cool. And then, so you can see some of his photography here. How cool is that bear picture? I did end up buying a couple of pictures, so I'm happy about that. some batteries. Oh, they were, me and my batteries. I'm always picking up batteries. They were all popped, unfortunately, or else I would have definitely picked those up. So this is more of this gentleman's photography. He was a really prolific photographer and really took a lot of awesome pictures. You'll see the ones we picked up. That was a pretty grungy, no-name cast iron pan, so I did pass on that. Although I have been looking for I did pick up these books. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place as we pick things up. I picked these up specifically because I don't really resell vintage toys, but I thought someone who did resell vintage toys might appreciate those books. So that's something I will be obviously it went in the bag. So that's something I will be listing on eBay. And there's even more little tiny rooms around here. This one was really small. I think it had a really funky little sink in it. And then we're just going to go back upstairs now, back the same way we came in. This is a whole bunch of photo slides. So, yeah, so I took a picture of the outside of the house. You probably noticed it in the thumbnail just because I wanted to capture it before it's gone. I'm not sure if the house is sold or is going on the market once everything has been taken out of the house. And this is another fun pic. Sorry, I'm not lifting my camera up high enough. It's really awkward when you're wearing the chest thing to like be able to see what you're showing. I'll try and do a better job of that. Okay, so back to that toolkit I showed you. I picked up a couple of things out of this toolkit because they said Mercedes-Benz on them. So and those will resell. I'll do some comps towards the end of the video for everything. What I didn't realize was this was actually I was looking for more Mercedes-Benz name on that, but that entire set is a Mercedes-Benz set. And you're going to be really surprised at how much that entire set was worth. I'm so kicking myself for not picking all of it up. Half of me was saying, pick it up. And then I was like, nah, it doesn't say Mercedes-Benz on it. I'll just leave it. Anyway, you'll see towards the end, the big surprise on that I left sitting on the table. Anyway, just walking into the house right now. So this lovely gardens, definitely. Yeah. So they have a big screened-in porch here. So they've got some tables and things in this screened-in porch. So we're going to go in here first. So it's a lovely house. How pretty is that? I don't know the age of the house. I should actually look that up and find out. But it definitely seemed like it was a couple of 100 years old. This is a really nice metal cabinet. Oh, I picked up this little little tile. It's a Carbocanum tile. So it's a dog breed. And that's a very cool kind of outdoor mushroom lamp. Again, at my budget, maybe one day. I did film this with some new settings, guys. So I know some people have been mentioning about the fisheye. So I did try some new settings. So let me know how these new settings work out and if they're better for viewing. So I know that I suffer from motion sickness as well. So I fully empathize with folks who are struggling when they're watching my videos. So yeah, let me know how it works out and if it's better or worse or no change, and I'll try some new settings. I love this copper. I don't know. I think that's an egg poaching pan, but I'm not sure. So you know what it is. Let me know. There's very cool old copper. And that one is a fishing. Oh my goodness, a fish pan. Can't speak. And then there's a whole set of my Villeroy and Boch China set, which is amazing. Oh, I picked this plate up. I've got to look this up. It's beautiful. The funny thing is when I'm looking this plate up, it's coming back as Petri dishes with mold in it when Google Lens is looking at that. So that's not helpful at all. So I have to keep looking that one up. But look at this beautiful Villeroy and Boch set. I did not pick up any of this, but I did look at that soup ladle. I was thinking about getting that soup laid on. Oh, this was really cool. This was like a brass or a bronze wine rack. I think that was $75. So again, I had to leave that one behind, but it was very cool. It was also missing the top, so I would have had to find a replacement top. Oh, here's the soup ladle. I left it just because there was no lid for the box. So even as a gift item, it wouldn't have really worked out. But this was a really pretty set. I'll take a look at the ladle because I actually didn't comp that one. I forgot about that until I watched this video and started narrating it. Um, so I tell you, my brain, it's like in one eye and out the other. This was cool. So the label on the bottom said $95, and it's an old butter, not an old butter dish. It's a handmade butter crock with a dog paw print on it, which is super cute. But I was not able to find any comps on that yet, so I will be sorry, full length view of my legs there. I'll have to look that up again because I couldn't read the maker on the bottom, but 95 for that little thing was quite expensive. And this is like a little hallway chair storage thing. We were actually looking up at a cat picture. I'll pop the picture of it in here because I don't think it shows up on the video ever. But really cute cat picture. I'm probably taken by the homeowner. Look at that carpet, guys. So that carpet, I didn't realize it until I started having a conversation with Deering, who runs these sales. The stuff was so heavy, we had to drop it off early. But that's a beautiful mid-century modern carpet with those butterflies on it. They had it listed for 750,000. Oh my gosh, $750. These are first edition Harry Potters. I probably should have picked those up, but I didn't. But it was 500 on that day. It wasn't included in the 50% off, but it's a stunning, stunning carpet. Absolutely beautiful. I don't blame them for not wanting to let it go for less than 500. Yeah, so I think these were first edition Harry Potters. I just wasn't too sure about how much they go for. I will look that up once we're done narrating the video, and I'll just insert that in here. You'll see it popped up on the screen at any moment. Um, sorry for the awkward narration. Oh, wow. So that one is plastic, but it was kind of interesting, so I picked it up. But just you wait till the end when I do the roundup. That one in my left hand, that metal one, I wasn't actually sure if it was a drill or a whisk or what, so I just grabbed it, threw it in the bag, or put it down there with the other heavy stuff. And that is a surprise. Now that is a bolo, so I'll talk about that more in the roundup towards the end. So you can see that beautiful carpet right there. My mum's just looking at a little mouse-shaped. Oh yeah, there it is. We put this down initially. I did end up picking that up, that little paperweight up. And there's a couple of other, I'm feeling it because rule of thumb I always follow is if you can feel a chip or a scratch or something, you can feel a chip or a scratch before you see it. So I always kind of do a feel test as I'm picking everything up. That was a pretty little stained glass, but I left that. The flowers were broken off of it. I'm still obsessing over that butterfly carpet. And then there's just some really gorgeous little pictures on the fire mantle that we were looking at here, Victorian ladies. I think they're kind of like Korean knives type pictures. Just litho prints. Oh yeah, there she is. Look at that. She's telling us all about it right there. Anyway, so that got left in the house, but I would have loved to have brought that home, as you can tell, because I've not stopped going on about it. That was a little picture frame with little tiny lead toy soldiers in it. It was pretty cool looking. So everything that's got that purple tag on it, the paper tag, that's the stuff that's expensive that she prices. And then everything else, you get bundle deals on it. So they had a ton of these water globes, but they were all missing water. So, and I don't ever buy these anyways. I mean, some people do, they are collectible. It's just not what I pick up. This is a cool, and it turns out this gentleman was actually a vintage toy collector. So he did have a whole bunch of toys that you'll see in the next room. This is a wind chime, a wooden wind bell, and I think it's a wind bell. Anyway, it's just cool. My mum spotted that. She also spotted something else here as well. This parrot was cool, but I left him. Probably should have brought that one, but I didn't. And there's a nice menorah there, but the menorah was individually priced. I think that was 125. Sorry, I am spinning around a lot, so hopefully it's okay for everybody. So my mum found that pretty bird, which she didn't really get a good shot of, so we'll look at that again in the roundup. And this was a pretty ceramic telephone trinket box, which is also surprisingly valuable with So we'll look at that again later. What was I looking at in here? I think these are really heavy, faceted crystal, yeah, faceted crystal candle holders in a lovely gift box, but they were super heavy and I couldn't see a name on that, so I did leave those there. I think it said, I think the label said made in Japan, so they're probably mid-century pieces. Oh, and I did pick up this goose, this long neck goose, which is cute. There's just, I love these sales where there's just loads and loads of little things to look at. What's going on here? A lot of vintage ceramics. These are actually vintage paperweights, but they've got family pictures or old pictures in them, so we left those behind. And that cute little trinket box actually broken. These are, I forget the name of them. I think they're Buddhist hand or praying hands or something. Little set there, which is cute. And then don't know what that was there, but that was a Paul Revere or Paul Bunyan, maybe Paul Bunyan postcard, which is cute. I don't know if I picked anything up off this table actually. Oh, I did. My favorite thing. You've probably already seen it. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've definitely seen what I pick up here. And this one's a keeper. It's so cute. I don't think it's vintage. I think it's just made to look vintage, but I absolutely love it. It looked vintage because it was absolutely covered in dust. So it probably looked older than it was. But I love it. How cute is that little thing? So that's a keeper for sure. Okay, so I dropped that off, so I'm just heading back to my mum now. But as you can see, there's a lot of the collectible toys here. And what are we looking at here? Oh, it's a pretty necklace I picked up. This is just a vintage lucite, probably from the 60s necklace. And it's funny, I don't pick up much jewelry, but I did actually pick up a few nice pieces from this sale. There's a huge soapstone giraffe. Oh, this little kid, he was so happy. He got a huge tub of Legos for, I think, 20 bucks or something. He was so happy. And Dad was happy because the kids were happy to be shopping at an estate sale where they found Legos. I think it made the kids' day. This is another butter dish. Just looking in the cupboards here, there's a lot of glasses and drinkware up there. Nothing much to write home about. Yeah, I don't think I found just baking sheets, pots and pans. These cupboards were cool. Oh, I found some cute little swizzle sticks in here, little glass swizzle sticks, but I only found one of each, so unfortunately I had to leave those behind. That clear one was actually a little tiny donkey. I don't know if you can see it. Or it's either a donkey or a cow. And then the other one was a pelican, but I could only find one of each, so those had to stay behind. I do have a little collection of glass swizzle sticks. But this kitchen was very mid-century. They really had kept their mid-century. I got cut off a little bit there, but I was saying that they'd really kept to their mid-century styling throughout this whole house. So it was really cool to look at and found some really nice mid-century pieces. So obviously we're in the kitchen right now. Oh, look, that's one of those old whisks. This one was damaged. Oh, this is cool. This was some Williams-Sonoma Christmas cookie stamps from the 1990s. And it looks like they were opened and looked at but never used. So this was a cute little find. They're glass and there's a little set of 4. So I did pick those up. I'll be listing those this week sometime. But yeah, Williams Sonoma stuff's always sold pretty well for me. So it was cool to find that. Don't know why I was deliberating over it so much, but there you go. What else do we see here? Just some random stuff. Ceramics, stuff like that. I don't think I've done too much that I purchased in this kitchen. I forget what I was going back for here. I think I just wanted to look in the cupboards because I hadn't looked in the cupboard. Oh, that green mug. Oh, it's a V cup. That was a V mug, obviously. Did not take that long, so I've got a couple of those. This was funny. This was like it was a choose your diagnosis mug or something for like psychiatrist. It was funny. Oh, there's a really cute, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a really cool bread bin down there. I absolutely loved it. It was, I'll see if I can find another one and post it up on the screen here. But that was a cake and bread bin, a real vintage one. And there was a nice scale there for vegetables. Mum found some nice linens here, and we'll talk about those more in the roundup. That was a remake of a straight-sided Coke bottle. If that had been a real straight-sided Coke bottle from back in the day, I would have definitely picked that up, but it was not, so stayed there. Just more drinkware, more glasses. Nothing in there. And then what else? Oh, there's some vintage utensils and things. I do pick up a few vintage utensils. I like them. That was just a little angel, but she had a big crack. And we were laughing there because I meant a big crack in the ceramic, not, I wasn't being personal about anything. But where's the napkins, Mum? Where's the placemats, Mum? They're really pretty. They're very mid-century cool. And I wasn't sure what there was no brand or anything on these, but when we did the research for the roundup at the end, they're actually a really cool little story behind them. So those definitely went in the back. So this was a tiny little kind of workroom off the laundry room, which was off the kitchen, and we found some pictures in here. There wasn't too much in the way of tools or anything left here. This is a weird thing to find in a tool room, but it was a globe vase. I was wondering if it might have been Murano, but I don't think it was. The base looked a little too rounded off. So I think it was just kind of a copy. And why would you keep a beautiful Murano vase in your tool room with rocks in it? Oh, look how cute. See, this is some of his pictures. Look how beautiful those dogs are. We spent a lot of time looking at pictures here because they were really he was just some amazing photography. So I'm really glad we picked up some of his work. I won't be listing. My mum picked up that one. We're just trying to find a map that might fit, but they were all a bit too small. So my mum picked up that one with with the sunset and the bird. It's lovely. And then I think we found a couple. There's a one of an osprey in flight, and then another osprey with his catch. And these are all pictures taken around Westport. Just stunning. And then what's really cool is on the back of every picture, you see that yellow thing? He'd actually written the date, the time, the exposure, the camera, all the details that he used to take the picture with. He had actually written on the back of every single picture, which is just really cool as well. Don't know what that was. Just bits and bobs. Did look at this little spray gun set. I've sold a couple of these vintage ones before, but the last one I sold, the gentleman was a little strange. So kind of put me off a wee bit. But yeah, look at that beautiful osprey. So that was a beautiful osprey picture. Oh, look how cute this squirrel is. So cute. So I did buy these 3. I'll be keeping those and framing them. They're just so pretty. Looks like I put them down. Nope, there they go in the bag. And I did put the lid back on that spray thing after I looked at it. But I passed on that one. Yeah, the gentleman that bought one off me a while back sent me a really weird email and was quite rude and telling me off for absolutely no good reason. Look, I wish I bought that one. How cute is that? The chipmunk on the hedgehog. My mum bought that nice New York book. It was pretty. Nice coffee table book. I love that. I should have picked that one up too, but I didn't. Anyway, you live and learn. Some more mats here. So I just found this randomly in a box. It's actually a candle light from train carriages. It's a vintage one. It says it's French according to Google Lens, but there are no markings on it. Unfortunately, there is a crack in the glass. Why are we constantly looking at my legs? It's so weird. It must be one of the settings. I'm sorry. I think I will need to cut as much of that out as I can, but I'll talk more about that little thing at the end. So this looked like a little office studio. Another awesome picture. They were quite well traveled. I think when I was reading the story about them, they had traveled to 40 countries with another couple. They were obviously quite wealthy, but they traveled to 40 different countries. So, and he'd taken photographs all over the world. And that was I think, a leopard or a cheetah on top of a safari vehicle. That was so cute. It was like a little kid's Littrell's Freewell shirt. Um, Very cute. This was obviously, well, not obviously, because you're not in the room with me. I'm just assuming you're here. And of course, we can't go to a sale without getting something for Paul. That is a Jorge Posada Yankees bobblehead. He's a big Yankee fan. We are big. So we're heading into, I don't know what you would call this room, maybe a great room. It's pretty. There's like a pool table in there, piano in there, nice big fireplace. Video games. I don't really sell video games. And the fact that they're there after 2 days leads me to believe that they're not really worth picking up. Beautiful big fireplace, loads of toys. So, and I think these toys are actually their kids' toys from back in the 70s. There were some collectible toys that you'll see in a minute, and I think I pan up to the ceiling, but there was some really cool model airplanes that the gentleman had built, just kind of like hanging from the rafters. I think I pan up to it in a second. I love this mid-century modern kind of low couch set. This modular couch set too is beautiful. I think that was about $3,500. So yeah, I just ogled at it and then called it a day. Do I pan up thick? I think I do. Do I pan up far enough? We're still looking at the toys. Let's see. I do. There they are. Very cool. And there's a lot of toys in this room. I think this is where I don't know if he had them out on display actually. I think he did. But there's definitely some toy collectors enjoying this little room. Loads of vintage dolls and souvenir travel dolls. My grandparents had tons of these little travel dolls. It must have been a big thing back in the 50s and 60s. Loads of postcards. There's a lot of linens here, but I didn't pick up any of the linens here. I get nervous, even though I know I get nervous because then I stop picking things up. I should like pick everything up and then filter back once I get my, bundle price at the end. But I get a bit nervous and then I stop picking things up even though I want them. So, but they did have some lovely linens and a bit of lace, not too much lace, but a few bits and bobs. Oh, here's a bunch of they're fisherman's hat pins, but they were all from Australia. So I actually picked up all of these, including the one that looks like an empty card. Someone had just taken the pin off the card. So I reunited card and pin and put that one in the bag too. I'm probably a bit, I don't know, OCD about stuff when I go to sales. I have to put things back together or something. I hate it when people throw things around or they don't want something, they look at it and then they just throw it down. It's like somebody else might want it. Show a little respect. These are people's items and they're well loved and over the years. So I get a little OCD about putting things back together, I think. And it's so funny. There was these, I forget what they were called, something Handy Andy. Those are cool. I wish those had the pieces, but the pieces were missing. Handy Andy hardware. Look at this. That is a kid's toy. I mean, some of my viewers here, some folks who are watching this, you probably recognize it. But I'm like, that's a kid's toy with a saw and a chisel and a hammer, but like not plastic, full on metal shot. There I go again with the batteries. These are fine. I definitely picked these up. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think we would get away with that with health and safety these days, giving kids like real but miniature size. They didn't even look miniature size. They just look smaller tool sets. But I don't know. Heading into a room which has been converted into a fabulous walk-in closet. There really wasn't too much to pick up in this room. There's a lot of name brand clothing, but nothing. I'm trying to back off on clothing. It just takes up too much room and too much time. So I'm trying to back off and be really, really selective about clothing. So I didn't really pick up anything. I did find in these bins down here there's some cute little kids dresses. I think these are from the 80s again. Really cute little what's it called? Smocked dresses. They're very pretty. Again with the knees. Anyway, I'm probably going to skip past this quickly, but I did find in here 4 really nice Brooks Brothers ties. 3 of them were rep ties. It's a little dark in this room, and there wasn't too much in this room. That was a cute little vintage baby grown, a Snoopy, stuff like that. I did snag something. I don't know if you can see it on the right here. A really cool kind of like teak piece of wood. I didn't know what it was when I initially picked it up, but it's super cool. I loved it. It's a pepper mill, and more on this later on because this was another bolo find, another surprise. So yeah, there wasn't too much in this room. Just a nice mid-century dresser there, but otherwise was kind of empty. So clearly somebody collected Raggedy Ann dolls. It was not Raggedy Andy, it was just Raggedy Ann. But oh no, there's Raggedy Andy. I didn't see him. She was cute. But a lot of vintage dolls. See that little brown fluffy thing there? Let's wait till you find out about that little guy too. Little tiger, a few little stuffed animals. Um, these were Greg Butler. I don't know who that is, but I'm assuming he's some kind of famous basketball player. I should probably look that up. But he must have run a camp in town, or a camp that the kids went to back in the 90s. So, but they were kid sizes, so I left those. This is a cute. It's actually funnily enough, it's a Gap. I didn't realize it was Gap when I picked it up, but it was very cute. I pick up this doll. Oh no, maybe not. Why was I looking at? Oh yeah, picked up this doll. It was Rosie O'Donnell doll from like the 1990s. A Tyco doll. I did look her up, but she doesn't sell very well, between $5 and $10. So I put her down. I think she's got a battery pack in there, so she probably says something. And then continuing to so I did put her down, like I said, and there's more Raggedy Andys and Raggedy Anns. It's so funny. I had a Humpty Dumpty. I think it's a Humpty Dumpty, that stuffed toy myself back in the 80s, or back in the 70s. Some cute little, just really cute stuff in this room. And let's see. And I did end up, like I said, I ended up picking up this fluffy brown guy right here. I thought it was a moose. And then I looked at Moose. Is a gun from 1991. I looked at Moose and I'm like, oh, I bought this and he doesn't have antlers. So I thought maybe the antlers had been cut off, but they haven't. He's a 1991 gunned Barksy. But more on that cutie in a little bit. This was cool. This was a whole shelf of vintage bottles. That was pretty. I think that was a sterling silver top, but it was missing the dabber. I probably should have picked it up, but I didn't. That's when my mum found this owl pipe stand. I'll show you that in the roundup. But I think all these bottles had been dug up. There was a lot of very old inkwells and other type medicine type bottles here, and I think he must have found a bottle dump in his yard or something, which is kind of cool. And then loads and loads of buttons and sewing notions here, but nothing worth picking up. Someone had taken the time to layer those. That was pretty cool. So this is the master bathroom. This master bathroom had 2 bathrooms. This was the tiniest little sink stand I've ever seen, and I'm assuming it's original to the house. It was literally it reached to just above my knee. It was so tiny, and I'm obsessed with this 1970s wallpaper here. It's beautiful. But yeah, and then just to the left here was the second bathroom, and then there's some more gorgeous mid-century pieces here, which I think were about $2,500 each. There's a linen closet. Sadly, no linens in there. So here I find a bunch of first class vanity sets or amenity kits from airlines. I do pretty well with these. I picked up, I think 2 or 3. No, I picked up 3 vanity kits and then another NK Space one. They should all sell for between $18 to $20 each. So, like I said, I do pretty well with these kind of first class travel amenity kits, especially ones where the airline maybe has gone out of business, like a Pan Am or something like that. But so those are always nice, easy flips to pick up. All right, heading back into the main bedroom, actually. I love that chair, that wicker barrel chair. Love it. They had a ton of vintage patchwork. No, that's the word I'm looking for. Help me out there. Can't remember the name. Maybe it is patchwork blankets, but they're super big and heavy and bulky to ship, so I kind of just left them there. They also tend to be well used and a lot of stains, and I don't have the space required to remove stains like that. I was looking up a lot of these little vintage perfumes, and I did pick up a few, but I ended up putting them back down because you're not allowed to sell perfume on eBay that is open. And even though some of these that I picked up, they looked new, they weren't new in the box. So I don't, you can get thrown off of eBay from selling completely if you sell opened perfume. So just, word to the wise, don't sell pre-used perfume. But Mercari, you can sell pre-used perfume on Mercari. And I did pick up some more really pretty jewelry, some lovely, that's a coral leaf brooch. It's probably about a $20 vintage brooch from the 50s. And I'll show you the other necklaces I pick up. Oh, this is a cute little trinket box too. It's got like rhinestones around it and a little bird on a branch. It's really sweet. And that's probably about another $18 trinket box. And I'll show you some of the other jewelry that I pick up here during the roundup. They're all precious, semi-precious stones of some kind. Still trying to identify them, but they're really lovely. What else do we see here? That's another little pin that I'll probably put in that pin lot with the hat pin lot. Again, this is another one where someone had taken the back off it, but I found the back and I reunited them. A few other bits. I'm always surprised when there's stuff left after on the second day, and I know people don't want to go to the sale on the second day, but what I've noticed around here is a lot of times people actually hold some items back specifically for the second day. I don't know if they do that in your area, but I definitely see them doing that at, community sales or not thrift store, like the senior center sale that I've been to a couple of times. They definitely unpack more stuff for the second day. So it's definitely a good thing to go back to sales more, on the second day. I know a lot of people, what am I trying to say? Oh my goodness, guys. Um, don't think you're not going to find anything good on the second day of a sale because you just never know. I always find good stuff, so definitely keep looking. I don't think I pick up anything else here, so let's well, that's a pretty little abalone shell, and I think there's like a little silver wire embellishment in that, and I'll show you that again on the roundup as well. I think I loved that chair. I think that was $175, but it was so cute. I would, if I could find something like that, I would keep that for myself. Definitely not a eBay flip and ship. That was a cute little doggy brooch, but I left that guy. Some more jewelry. I think that's pretty much it in this room. So I thought we were out of things to look at here, but I can't go to a sale without finding a torture implement for my mum. Run away, run away. It's so funny. Anyway, I had to leave that bit in there because, it wouldn't be one of our sales if I didn't find something like that. Is the roundup. I'm sorry about I'm trying to like block that glare with my head. Sorry, guys. But as promised, here is the roundup of the finds. I'm not doing everything because I got quite a lot. I think I got like 38 or 39 items. So I'm not going to do everything, but I am going to show you the bolo stuff. I apologize for those lights behind me. I'm doing my best to block them and I'm failing miserably. Anyway, so we'll start with the more lower end stuff. So I mentioned in the video that I picked up, oh, there we go. this rep tie. It's my first time using QuickTime software on my Mac, so just I apologize if things look a bit weird. So this is a Brooks Brothers Makers all silk tie. Now rep ties, if you can see how it's got like almost like a grosgrain finish to it? This is what a rep tie is. It just kind of means it's a stripy. It's a real collegiate, real businessman type of tie, and is very popular. And these ties usually sell between $20 and $25 each for these silk ones, and I do like to find these when I can. I did pick up this lovely bird, and I was looking this up, and it took me a while to figure out this bird. It does hang on the back, and if you can see, it says Helsinki on there, and Google Lens didn't come up with a lot, but it did say that it was from Finland, and Helsinki's in Finland, so I'm assuming the family that purchased this, oh my goodness, I'm sorry guys, the family that purchased this in 96 were in Finland on one of their travels. It's a great looking bird. I love it. Probably sell for about $30 on eBay. Then this was a really cool tile. It's a Russian hand painted tile. There's a little information on the back. I do not speak Russian. I don't know if any of you guys do. But this is from the 80s, and I love her little face. Like, I love her little cheeks. It looks like my mum in the last video when we said she looked like Aunt Sally. But I just love her little cheeks, and she's having a little Russian tea, afternoon tea, which I can appreciate. And this will sell for about $30, and this is what am I trying to say? I don't know. Oh, from the 1980s. Sorry, 1980s. I may have already said that. This is the cute owl. I don't think you saw it because we kind of picked it up and whizzed it in the bag super fast. Didn't know what it was at first. I thought maybe it was for candles, but it's actually a pipe stand. And why am I going the wrong way every single time? So the pipe kind of sits in here, and obviously the stem sits out here. It's a really cute. It's crystal. It's from see if I can mispronounce this horribly, but it said it was from Van Le Châtel, and my mum will know better how to pronounce that because she speaks French and I do not. But he's super cute. I loved him. You know me and my owls. Oh my goodness, I can't. It's literally doing the opposite of what I want it to do. Anyway, cute little owl. Probably sell for about $20, $22, $25. So this is the goose that I found. It's one of my hairs. This is a Hoselt. Oh goodness gracious, guys! This is a Hoselton. You can see the mark there, Canada, and it is a goose. I am going to do a little bit of polishing on this one just because I love to polish things and find it very relaxing. And it's not an overly valuable item, $25 ish. But I think a little polish would make him look beautiful. So I'm going to do that. And then this was cool. So it took me a minute to find this. And unfortunately, as with wood, it does, they do separate. Wood grain just continues to kind of dry out and separate over time. But it is a little, oh, I'm holding on to the bell. Little Balinese bell. And I was very surprised to find out that this little guy is worth about, I think, in good condition with obviously no facial crack, straight through it, this thing would sell for over $100. In that condition, I'm thinking about $65, but I'm going to list it for that. You can always lower your price, take an offer, so we'll see what happens with that. But I just think he's really cool. He's called a grotesque grotesque face bell. Look at his teeth. It's funny. So he's kind of cool. And then I'll show you the jewelry pieces I found. I love finding the Aurora Borealis crystal beads. This is the Aurora Borealis, and again, I'm going the wrong direction, but it's called Aurora Borealis because you see the beautiful shimmer on the beads there. So this is a single strand. I think it's not graduated, but you can see like the beads at different sizes. Some are flat. It's just super pretty. And it's glass or crystal. It's very cold to the touch. I also picked up, and I'm still trying to figure out what stones these are, and if you can see, it's kind of like got a very iridescence to the white bead, and the black beads are very, very dark. And then it's got a nice clasp. Unfortunately, some of the tiny little black rhinestones are missing from the clasp, but the clasp works. It's lovely. So I think those will probably sell for between 35 and 45 each. And then this is my favorite. This is a lariat necklace. So I love these because it's, as you can see, it's super long. And it has these really pretty, if I can get there, really pretty addition, like decorated beads on the end of that necklace. But as you can see, it's super pretty. Another AB necklace, Aurora Borealis. And it's a lariat. So I love this because you could actually wear it two ways. You could obviously have the lariat coming down the front, or if you're wearing an open back dress to a party this party season, you could have the danglies down your back, which I think would look stunning. And then so I think that one's a little more, I think that one's coming up a bit more expensive at like 85. I think it's called a champagne, faceted champagne colored, not a smoky topaz bead, but it's super pretty. And this is the abalone shell. Ooh, there we go. And I think that is a piece of silver. It is not magnetic at all. There's no magnetism to it. And that is on a leather. Is it a leather? Yeah, it's on one of those little necklaces that you can lengthen and shorten at will. And that's probably about a $35 necklace. So that is cool. I'm going to show you the mold plate. So this is super funny. It's lovely. It's a landscape, obviously mountains with a river and some clouds. And there is a mark on the back that I think says Anderson. And I've sold Anderson pottery before. I'm a big fan. I love this kind of like very art pottery, very earthy looking stuff. So I think this is Anderson, and it is definitely wheel made. You can tell by this here, and it's just beautiful. So I'm not able to find out too much. I have not found a single comp for this plate. So if anybody has any ideas on this one, you know, go and throw a comment below and let me know. But it's beautiful. I'll probably list it for 65 to start and just see what happens with that. But I do love it. And then, I'll talk about these little spanners and that. So remember I mentioned at the beginning about a toolkit that I was looking at. So these are the Mercedes-Benz spanners that I took out of that toolkit, and I feel a bit bad about it now, but there's not a lot I can do about it. And but looking up that toolkit, I saw complete toolkits like that listed for over $1,000. Now I don't know if that one that I was looking at was complete and the bag itself was kind of damaged, but even in that condition, I think that toolkit would have been worth hundreds of dollars. So if you ever see a Mercedes-Benz toolkit, don't just take the spanners, which will probably sell for between $20 and $30 just for these two spanners. Grab the whole thing. I'm kicking myself for leaving that one there. All right, so then this is the butter dish I was telling you. Oh, now it's fallen off the bottom. So this is the label that was on the bottom of this butter dish, JK Butter 2004, and it's a butter keeper. So you put ice in the base and then the butter in this bit. I'm going to put that inside of it. This is another art pottery piece that they probably picked up on their travels. It's beautifully glazed, lovely little dog paw print on that. I have not been able to comp this out at all. Item out. I've not found a similar item anywhere, so I've not been able to comp that one out. But I think I'll probably list it for $45 or so. That is vintage, made in 2004, so it's officially vintage, over 20 years old. And then, so I'm just reaching across here. So this is the lamp. I don't know if you can see this. The glass here is unfortunately has a crack in it here, but it is the original glass, and I don't know if you can see, but there are little bubbles in the glass, which is kind of indicative of older glass, so that's kind of cool. And it did come with a candle. I've left the candle upstairs. There was one more this piece, but I didn't pick that up. I just picked up this complete one, and this complete one should sell for between $80 and $100. I'm going to sell it with the glass. They have taped it together. I don't know if someone can fix it, or maybe they can just replace that whole thing, but I am going to sell it with the glass. But that was cool. I've sold some smaller ones like this before for about $150 for a pair, so I think but they were much smaller. They were like hand size. hand size, 6 to 7 inches high size. But this is very cool, and the candle has a spring, so, and it does still work. So the candle, you push it up and down. Oh no, I didn't bring the candle. I brought the candle down with me. Look, so it does still have the candle. So as you can see, it's on a spring. So as the candle burns down, I guess the spring kind of pops up a little bit, or pushes it up more. And then I have these pictures, and I just love these pictures. I love these 50s art pieces. It does say on it Corcus or Cork something. I cannot read that signature, but maybe you guys can. And there is some writing on the back from the family name, but this came from Newtown, Connecticut, from, I guess, from their home up in Newtown. And in his obit, it did say, like, this gentleman whose house this was like an original madman from the 50s. So I love the art pieces that I picked up. So this is another like cartoon piece. I can't find any comps for either of these two little cartoons. So I'll probably start them, like I said, at about 75 and see what happens. And then there was a cat picture that I mentioned at the beginning. It's not a picture, it's a photograph. And this is the photograph. It's just so cool. I love it. Isn't that awesome? I'm assuming that it's the gentleman who took this picture. It's probably his cat on a newspaper. I just love it. So I think I'm going to keep that one for myself. And then, so this is a placemat. It is a placemat, and what I found out, there was 14 of these. I thought they were kind of 1970s looking. They've got like a little gold stitching mixed in with that white stitching, and we found 14 of these, and it is called it's a Palestinian fabric called Tatriz, Tatrez, and dresses and things that are made from that fabric, this woven fabric, are listed in the hundreds of dollars. Now, I know this is just a placemat, so I'll probably list the placemats for, I wrote this down because I would forget, and I've forgotten where I wrote it down. I'm going to, again, all of my prices are estimates based on the research, and I'll list those for 75 for the 14 placemats, and see what happens. If they don't sell in a few days, in a month or so, I'll probably kind of slowly reduce the price, or just accept offers. But it's always easier to lower your price than raise your price, and I always believe in lowering prices anyway, so that's my plan. And then what else? This thing. So I didn't know what this was. I figured it was some kind of, obviously, a rotary device. I thought maybe it was actually a whisk, like a hand whisk, because it was just so petite and so well decorated. So when I got home, Google Lens let me know that this is actually a very rare Stanley drill, Stanley hand rotary drill, and it sells for about $150. I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely blown away. I picked up two at the same time. You probably noticed. The other one was a vintage one. It was plastic, probably not worth too much, but I just thought they were both interesting looking. And then to find out that this one is a rare Stanley hand drill was really cool. So the gentleman had some nice tools, good quality, valuable tools, which was interesting. And what else? I feel like there's something else. Oh, this little cutie. So you heard me talking about this in the video. I bought this. I picked it up. I thought it was a moose. It is not a moose. It is Barksy from 1991 Gund. The moose, when I found it, was worth about $10 to $15. However, it is not a moose missing his horns. He is a cute little dog, and you're not going to believe this one, but this is worth about $200. Now, I know plush is pretty valuable. I know there's a lot of plush collectors out there, and I am just learning plush. I'm not familiar. I didn't grow up here, so the toys don't speak to me, because they're not toys that are familiar from my childhood. So it's difficult for me to really kind of figure out how old something is. So the labels are very helpful, obviously, because a lot of labels do show the date. I'll show you that. So this one says it's a Gund, and it's often on the back side of the label. You can probably just see it there, 1991. So I have to, go by that and research. But yeah, I was blown away by that one. And then last but not least, and this is my absolute favorite find, I mentioned it in the video, and I was going to keep it because I absolutely love it. It looked like a screwdriver. To me, I was like, oh, it's a wooden screwdriver. I had no idea what it was when I initially picked it up. It's actually a pepper mill. And on the bottom, I didn't see any writing on it in that room, because you notice it was very dark in that room. So I didn't see any writing on it until I got home. And then I Google Lensed it. It is a Jens Kvistgaard Dansk peppermill. It does actually say to sort. I don't know what that means. And then here it says Denmark on there, and it is apparently quite a rare one, and again worth about $200. So I was absolutely blown away by that. So I'm no longer going to keep it. I am going to resell it. There is a tiny little, like a little separation going on here, but I think someone who is good at furniture restoration would be able to fix that super fast with no problem. And it doesn't actually impact the use of the pepper mill at all. So yeah, those are the oh, I'll show you my bird in a cage. I'm keeping this too. It's just a it's not a vintage item. I just think she's super cute. She was covered in dust when I found her. Which made me think she was older than she was, but she has a where is it? A made in China, a gold made in China sticker. So those are the more modern stickers. Anyway, guys, that is it. That's my quick roundup. I will post here or somewhere how much I spent, how much everything is worth. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. This was a C2C sale, and obviously it was one of my favorite tag sales to go to. So I've got my work cut out to do some listing here. If you and I apologize, I noticed the video was kind of spinny, and I tried to cut as much of it out as possible. I'm trying out some new settings, and I think one of them was kind of moving the camera more than I was. So normally when I bend down, it just looks at my knees, but this time when I bent down, the whole camera like turned around to face me. It was bizarre. So I tried to cut as much of that out as I can, but I do apologize if anybody is feeling a bit nauseous, and thank you so much for making it this far if you were feeling a little nauseous. But I'm working on it, because like I said, I can totally empathize with motion sickness, so I'll keep working on that. And got a great what ship video coming up. I'm going to put that on my other channel, the Flipping Larker. So if you're interested in finding out what shipped and how much everything shipped for and sold for and all that good stuff, that'll be on my Flipping Larker channel. I'll put a little picture of it here. And then obviously, as always, guys, thank you so very much for all your likes, subscribes, and comments. It's just amazing. We love reading everything, and just feeling super excited and everything about this little community of fellow larkers that we take shopping with us every week. So keep doing that. Keep leaving me comments and stuff like that. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And I just realized this is not some kind of random tail thing. It's one of those hair halos. I'm like, ugh, don't ask. I've been curious about them, so I bought one. I just realized it looks like there's a severed head hanging off the back of that chair, but it is not. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for coming along with us. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.